Lesson 29, Solving Literal Equations. A literal equation is an equation that has more than one variable. Example would be, so it's like the area of a circle, pi times the radius squared. It has two variables, so this equation has two variables. The a and the r. So it is a literal equation. So we still use inverse operations to solve for one of the variables. So we still use inverse operations. And we actually use properties of equality also, like the multiplication property, division property, addition property, subtraction property of equalities, to solve for one of the variables. So I'm going to show you some examples. It's an eyeball exercise for sure. So here's an example. Solve for r in this equation, a equals pi r squared. So we're solving for r. We find it. It's being multiplied by pi, so we're going to divide by pi first. We have a divided by pi equals r squared. To find what r equals, we have to take the square root of both sides. So we do plus or minus a divided by pi equals square root of r squared, which is just r. So r equals plus or minus a divided by pi. We're going to do another example where we want to solve for r. 3r plus 2s minus 7 equals negative 4s plus 4r minus 8. Now we want to solve for r. I look here and I see there's 3r and there's 4r. If I subtract the smaller one from both sides, I'll get a positive 1r on the other side. So I'm going to need to add a 4s here, and I'm going to need to add an 8. So I'm going to add 4s, and I'm going to add 8. Then I will simplify. So this went to 0. These went to 0. You have 2s plus 4s is 6s, and negative 7 plus 8 is a positive 1. 4r minus 3r is r. So we just solve for r right there. Here's one more example. Solve for q. This equation is 4q plus 2a minus 5 equals 6a plus q. So if you see there's a 4q and a 1q, I'm going to subtract the smaller one from both sides. So I have 3q plus 2a minus 5 equals 6a. Now, I don't want this 2a and I don't want this 5, so I'm going to do inverse operations on those terms. I'm going to subtract 2a and add 5. So I have 3q equals 6a minus 2a is 4a plus 5. Now, when we divide by 3 to get q all by itself, we have to do every single term by 3. So we have q equals 4/3 a plus 5/3. And we can leave it like that. If you want to change it to mixed numbers, it's just fine. That's the end of the lesson.